Welcome to the multi-part video series called Why You Are Alive on Earth. I am your host, Vern Blanchette, and if you will allow me, I'm going to use 20 short videos to teach you the absolute truth about why you are alive on Earth. In the process, I hope to take your mind to some thoughts you've never considered before. I will be passing out many unusual ideas for you to contemplate, so sharpen up your listening skills and prepare to be pleasantly surprised now and then, I hope. Now let's start with the first video of the series, which I call Part 1, Mouse in the Maze, or Are You Just the Electrical Activity in Your Brain? Have you ever looked out at the thousands of stars in the night sky and wondered what is out there? On a dark night with no moon in the sky can be breathtaking. Here's a view showing what it might look like if you're in a reasonably dark neighborhood. But when we look up there and see those thousands of stars, there's much more up there than our eyes can see. We know that, even on the darkest night. Now, scientists aimed the Hubble Space Telescope at a small piece of the sky about the size of a pencil eraser held at arm's length. So if you held that up and looked at the sky, that little circle of the eraser was the spot of sky they focused the telescope on. And they let the telescope gather or capture light for more than 11 hours, hoping to capture images of very distant objects. Well, what was discovered is amazing. Here's an image of what astronomers call the Hubble Space Telescope Deep Field Survey. In this image are thousands of glowing objects, but these are not stars. They are galaxies consisting of hundreds of millions of stars each. This Deep Field Survey revealed nearly 10,000 galaxies in that tiny portion of our sky. Now, if you think about it and you take that tiny portion of the sky and expand it over the entire sphere of the sky that surrounds the entire Earth, it just reveals that the number of galaxies is, excuse the pun, astronomical. Okay, there's lots of them guys out there. Now, this photograph they took suggests that there are billions of galaxies in space. I mean billions and billions. As you can imagine, and thank goodness, they are incredibly far away. Now, seeing that the immensity of space like this, it might set you to wondering why all those stars and galaxies are there at all. Were they created? Who put them there? Or perhaps they just happened all by themselves. I think that's the present scientific belief. Think about that. Poof, out of nothing, an entire universe appears. Now, you can see the stars, but what about all that empty space you can't see? Try to visualize that enormous volume of empty space containing the stars and galaxies. Next time you look at a star picture, don't look at the stars, look at the space between them, light years of empty space containing the stars and galaxies of our universe. Where did all that empty space come from? Now, stretch your imagination and visualize the edge of this empty space. Suppose we could take a rocket ship out there and peek over the edge. The very edge of it that scientists say is still expanding outward from the Big Bang. And ask yourself, what's beyond that edge? Really, what's beyond that edge? I want to know. If the universe has an edge, what is the universe itself inside of? What contains the universe? And where is it exactly? Now, these kinds of unanswerable questions may lead you to other more personal and serious questions, like, considering how big the universe is and how small we are, how small you are, why are you even alive? How in the world did this come to be? How did this come to exist? Are you and I just products of a universe full of dust and energy? Our insignificance appearing momentarily like the small blue puff of smoke from a snuffed out candle. One famous scientist suggested, with a strong sense of lonesome hopelessness, we humans are just star stuff, ejected by ancient supernovas billions and billions and billions of years ago. We, he conjectured, are just the universe trying to know itself. Wow. Can you hear in that statement the anguished cries of thousands of years of human suffering, echoing in the vast, dark, empty light years between nebulae and dead, barren gas clouds? Well, if I keep talking like this, I'm going to get depressed, and my purpose isn't to depress you. Just speaking those words does it to me. So let's move from all that poetic nonsense to the subject of this video. I want to take you to the realm of light and joy. And to do that, I want to begin with the following. You know you are in a human body, and you can see and hear the world around you. How did this happen? You can say, I am. I really am. I exist. How did that come about here in this vast universe? Why did this happen? A little water to wet the whistle. We humans have trouble answering these kind of questions. And as life throws troubles at us, and our hopes are dashed by hardships and difficulties with both circumstances or people, and quite often with people, we can be like a ship lost at sea. We can stumble and make some poor choices. This can result in tragedies. Let me share one with you. For example, recently in our community, a 14-year-old junior high school student with her whole life ahead of her came home, entered her bedroom, and hung herself. Why? Why does a person try to destroy themselves? What could we have said to her to prevent this catastrophe? In a nearby community, a mother of several small children loaded them into her car and then drove into the ocean in an apparent attempt to drown them. Bystanders rescued the children. Again, we have to ask, why? But it's not just one or two people here and there doing these kind of things. Hundreds of people die every day from the misuse of controlled substances such as cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, prescription drugs, and alcohol. In fact, in our family, around the country here, our extended family, heroin and fentanyl have taken a number of our young people. Why do they find it necessary to approach these things? One answer is that often these kinds of destructive choices happen because a person feels that life has no purpose or is meaningless. They may see life as a difficult struggle, particularly if they are being bullied at school, or have crushing financial problems, or difficult relationships of some kind, and they feel their lives have little value. They may feel a deep sense of hopelessness. But their actions actually reveal they don't know who they really are, or what their true value is. They don't know they are very valuable. Some people don't know why they're alive. Could that be you? Has no one ever taught you why you were alive? You'd think that would be one of the first things parents in the school would teach you. Are you living like a mouse that's been dropped into a big, complicated maze? Do you scamper around in your life, lost, trying this turn and that turn, doing what you see other people doing because you can't think of anything else, bumping into obstacles, getting stuck in blind alleys, and all the while getting no closer to the prize at the end of the maze? Wow, you might not even know there's something wonderful waiting for you at the end of the maze. What would help you the most if you were lost in a real maze? When you are in a maze, all you can see are the nearby walls. If you are lost in the maze of life, All you can see is the nearby circumstances. The answer is to get up high and look down on the maze. You would then be able to see where you are in the maze and the path you need to follow to reach the exit. You've probably experienced this in a large shopping mall when you stop and look at a map to see where you are and what store you're looking for. You'll see a little arrow and the words, "You are here." That immediately picks you up above that map and you can look down into the maze of all the stores and pathways. It's very easy to find the store you're looking for. Likewise, lost people need a model of the maze of life on earth that gives them a bird's eye view so that they can see the path through to the prize at the end. This video series provides that model. It will raise you up high and reveal why you are alive on planet Earth. It will help you see through the maze of life by revealing the two major illusions that many people are trapped in. With that knowledge, you will find joy, peace, and a new awe of both the world around you and the wonderful future ahead of you. You will see the prize. Now, the only way out of life on Earth is, guess what? It's to die. So let's begin the journey to deeper understanding by considering the problem of death. We all know the human body eventually dies. And after death, the person expressed by that body, they seem to be gone. Was that person really there? Does he or she still exist somewhere after their body lies in the grave? Or was what we thought to be a person just the electrical activity in that person's brain? Think about that. Are you just yearning for the electrical activity in the brain of the individual you now miss? And you, are you just the electrical activity in your brain? Is that all? It's natural for us to ask these kinds of questions after seeing the death of someone we love. Our heart yearns to know our loved one is safe and that we will see them again. But the answers science gives us are rather dark and hopeless. Why is that? Well, it's because science restricts itself to dealing with the physical world. And none of our senses, taste, touch, smell, hearing, or sight, can detect or measure the presence of the person we now miss. If we allow for the life of the person to continue after the body dies, then there has to be something else happening other than brain activity. There has to be a process beyond ordinary science. This video series explores that idea and provides a model for understanding that process. You are going to be given a peek into the maze, and when you finally begin to see it clearly and grasp both its simplicity and beautiful complexity, you will be pleasantly surprised. This peek into the maze will let you, number one, understand who you are. Number two, reveal why you are alive on Earth. Number three, explain what death really means. And four, it will explain what you can expect when you die. That's worth knowing. In fact, there is evidence that a person continues to exist after their body dies, and we'll explore this also. The human body lives only in the natural world, otherwise known as the physical universe, or in scientific circles, the Space Time Continuum. You may believe that the natural world is all there is or ever will be, or reminiscent of the thoughts of Carl Sagan, an American scientist and atheist. Dr. Sagan was a brilliant man, but keep in mind that there was a time when the scientific community, the brilliant men of their day, believed the earth was flat and the sun circled the earth. Always remember that even the wisest men can be wrong sometimes. Actually, the argument that the natural world is all there is or ever will be is really a belief that a creator does not exist. This is the religion of nobody made me. This is the religion of all life came from a smelly puddle of goo billions of years ago. Did you know that this idea that the natural world is all there is and ever will be is actually a religious belief? Yes, religious. Why? Well, because it's scientifically unproven, yet widely accepted by faith. That's right. Nobody has ever proven that a creator of the universe does not exist. People just going around talking about it, and I think maybe hoping that he does not exist. Some people find this way of thinking odd, since our world is filled with created stuff. Now, using a logical extension of this argument, that the natural world is all there is or ever will be, scientists concluded that the entire universe must have appeared out of absolutely nothing all by itself. If this is your present belief, then you are invited to suspend your belief for a few minutes while you watch this video series. I believe that what you'll find here will stimulate your thinking on the subject of the possibility of the existence of a creator and the possible continuation of life after death. So let's get started. Part 2 of this video series will attempt to free you from a deadly illusion that has captured the minds of many people. So please, watch Part 2, which we call The First Great Illusion, or A Woman Born with Eyes on Her Ankles. I hope to see you over there. Thank you for watching.